Interesting. Ah, never seen it do that before. That is very unique. Xeno, look. Jeez, Xeno, you scared the crap out of me. Oh, you gotta learn to freaking knock. Anyway, what were you talking about? Yeah, sorry, dude. Jeez. Anyway, as I was saying, we haven't uploaded a video in over a week, and I have no ideas. Do you got one? I got an idea. Politics. Oh, mother. Oh. What was that for? Jeez. Ever mention that kind of stuff on my channel? Not like that. Oh, didn't have to be so evil. Oh, sorry I even mentioned it. Evil is dark. We're a channel about video games, so we could talk about how darkness affects things in video games. And I'm not talking about like darkness in the sense of being creepy or weird, but like actual darkness, like, oh crap, there's like dark outside. Like, see that? See that? You know what I mean. Outside in the dark. Just talk about how games aren't truly. There. So we can just talk about how games aren't truly dark as night, like as they are in real life. What's about that for a video? You know, your mind works in weird ways. But hey, I'll help you work on it, just because I'm better off doing anything else than doing research on whatever I'm doing here. Hello everybody, Xeno here, and today I'm not even going to bother to be in front of the camera while I'm commentating this video, so we're just going to dive right into the topic that both of versions of me were talking about earlier, about darkness in video games. And from what I've noticed, a lot of AAA titles have been taking darkness in like the nighttime in video games less and less serious. And a couple examples I'm going to throw out here, they're mostly open world ones that are like from Bethesda titles or Rockstar. Like Grand Theft Auto 5's nighttime isn't as realistic as, you know, Earth's real nighttime, where it can be pitch black dark unless there's like snow or something, or if the moon's shining really bright out at night and there's no clouds at all. But even then, night should be really, really dark. And a lot of games don't have that. Skyrim, even though it's on a completely different planet because it's in the fantasy world of Nirn, night it's not very dark, and it makes things like the Khajiit special night vision almost practically useless because everybody can see perfectly fine in the dark according to the game. You know, they sacrifice. I always have to put this word in my videos somehow, but they sacrifice immersion a little bit so people can play all the time. Because you know how games like Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto, your character doesn't ever need to eat or sleep, so usually you play through the nighttime. And I think that's always a bad thing, or at least to have an option to toggle it, because I always hate to resort to modding my game. Because whenever I think of adding visuals or other things like that, adding content to the game is a different story. But modding my game to play the way I think it should have been always doesn't feel right to me, because it just sucks that the developers never put that as an option, or made you have to suffer with the design choice in general, because naturally it should be harder for a human being. Well, we're just going to stick to human beings here. Sorry about that, Khajiit and other elvish races in Elder Scrolls series. But naturally, humans aren't going to adapt to seeing well at night at all. So usually in like linear video games, they make it to where night levels are like the harder levels because you can't see as well. So having your character venture out and adventure in the dark should have to be naturally tougher, because you won't see animals, coming right at you or not. You'd have to rely heavily on sound, or kind of just be shit out of luck. and hope that nothing wants to come out and kill you while you're following the main path. And jumping to another topic on reason why I'm disappointed that they don't implement darkness in games is because sometimes you can make the game look way, way prettier, you know, like more beautiful, because you can help, what's the word? You can exaggerate the lights a little bit, so lanterns and things like in cities or on trails can give off this cool ambient light and set a nice tone of what's happening or where you are, so you can get a nice feeling of what the place is like at night. This would be very, very good in GTA. So when you're in one of those party-esque, quote quote, party-esque streets, you can kind of get a nice feeling of, oh, this is the club life. This is where the cool kids hang out, you know. Or in like Skyrim, where you can have this nice setting of like in Whiterun or some other town, and have the lights bring off the main trails while the weird, you know, the bad things can happen off the side of the streets or the alleyways. Now this also can go into other games too, that's why I'm saying different scenarios. But having ambient light like that could just set the mood so well in a video game. And you can tell games that purposefully implement dark light, like horror games and stuff, use that to their advantage. But having that happen naturally in like an open world video game would mean all the difference, because it would help you create an even more unique experience, since you never really know what's popping out of like the darkness and stuff. Now, of course, in Elder Scrolls, you can always craft like a potion that helps you see in the dark, but that would help you create another purpose in the game. Oh, I can't see in the dark, you know, I'm not a Khajiit or something, or I don't have some special helmet that improves low light vision. I'll learn to become an alchemist, so I can craft a potion that'll allow my like eye retinas to see better in the dark. It would just become an even better way to help expand gameplay and help create your character in a unique way. But I'm pretty much rambling at this point. I do want to compliment Ark, if I have some of that gameplay in the background, for being a game where it can be pitch black dark, because having an open world game like that, it can get really frightening after a while. Even if with a torch in your hand, you can't see very far out in there. So having like a dinosaur jump out and attack you will cause you to run somewhere frantically. But if you're like in the middle of a forest and you don't have your map with you, even though you always have your map with you, you can get lost and try and go back the way you came from like your raft or something, and you want to get the hell out of there, but you can get lost because now you're in the dark and you're kind of just shit out of luck. But that basically is just me talking about how games should implement darker nights into video games, because I think they're just pushing out and making the game easier for everybody by making it bright enough to see, just so you don't have to deal with the higher difficulty. But anyway, thank you for enjoying to the end if you watched it all the way to here, and I'm going to pop up some videos if you want to check out more videos that I made, and Xena will be out of here.